Hey agave lovers, welcome back to the channel. My name is Lucas and today we are talking about the Cholla cactus or the teddy bear cactus. I have this beautiful specimen here and it's actually quite young. It's less than a couple of years old. It came from just a couple of, I think maybe 4 branches off the other specimen that I have in the front yard, which is actually smaller than this. And when I was watering one night, I sort of ran the hose across the front of the cactus and I knocked off a couple of its branches, just really small nubs. And they're easy to root, so I propagated them, put them in tiny little containers, and they rooted pretty quickly. And then I put them here, man, I would say less than 2 years ago, 1.5 years maybe. And they've grown so much. So also my Agave Gesbrigeti purpursorium has gotten a lot larger since I planted it as well. All of the plants, actually most of the plants that I put in here, I've talked about this on another video when I did the variegated Perii truncata. This area was all, before I had the planter box where I've been putting some of the agaves to get healthy, that's what this area originally was for. Just about all these plants here were all much smaller and they were pretty unhealthy. So I put them in here until either one, they got healthy enough for me to transplant them into their permanent places in the yard or in a container to keep and display or to sell. And one that we've already taken out because it got healthy again is the Perii truncata, the variegated one. And that has since been transplanted into the front yard. I did a video about that and it is very healthy. We'll take a look at that today. In its place, I have this teddy bear cactus, which is going to go there. It grew so fast that it's growing into the purpursorium here, or purpursorium is growing into the cholla cactus. Regardless, this has to get moved over to this area here. Typically, I would dig a hole, and I did have a hole here from the Perii truncata that was here. But this time, since this is a cactus and I do water this Japanese black pine that is above me, I don't want it kind of in a dell or even flat with the other ones. I want it sort of built up because I don't want this to absorb as much water as some of these other ones get. So I want it a bit on a mound. That means that when I take this out, which I'm going to do momentarily, when I take this out, I'm just going to kind of set it in this little divot that I made. And the divot is more just to give me an idea of where to put it. Once I put it on there, I've got some dirt behind me that we will build up the mound. And let me see, the Oterii back here, this is going to get sold this spring. So I was debating on if I should wait to move this now or do it after I remove this, but I just thought I might as well get started with this because I'm always wanting to do things in the yard, and so this is what I want to do today. I should probably wait, but I'm impatient, so I will go ahead and move it. Last night, I actually took out a totem cactus that was back there. And, you know, the totem cactus is going to grow columnar, and it's going to take up a little bit of this vertical area here. But I also have the Yucca rostrata back here that will be about 60 inches in diameter. So it doesn't have a whole lot of space back there, but that is going to grow up and populate this area back here. And I already have that growing, and then the teddy bear cactus also, if I put it right in front of the totem cactus, I thought that they're just going to be kind of competing aesthetically for the vertical space. So I figured I don't need both cactus in here. I'll just keep the teddy bear cactus. I already have a teddy bear cactus in the front yard, so I'd rather just do this here. And before we get started, I have to say a few things about this beautiful cactus. David Attenborough calls it the most dangerous plant in the desert. And, well, I mostly agree with that. It definitely is a dangerous, can be a very painful plant. I've been poked. I've talked about being poked and going to the ER quite often with these plants, but this one probably not going to put you in the ER unless you go into a whole field of them, which I don't know if you've seen the video of the cyclist who falls into a whole field of these things, but needless to say, it is extremely, extremely dangerous and painful when you get poked by these things. Why is it painful? Well, the main reason is that the spines, no two spines are the same in this garden. So this one is full of, they're almost like glass-like needles. They're very sharp, and at the ends are these backward-facing barbs, kind of shaped like that. So it doesn't take much. You can just lightly touch this thing and it'll stay in your skin and pull off of the cactus. It's really painful. And when it's just lightly in the first couple layers, it's super painful pulling that out. Man, when you get one of these really embedded in the skin, it's very difficult to come out, and pieces can break off, and that's never good. You don't want foreign objects in your body like that. So speaking from experience. So we are going to do our best not to touch this. And it also, I'm actually less worried about getting poked than I am about breaking these branches. It's a very, very fragile cactus, and it's like that on purpose. This thing is king of propagating. So I just told you how easy it was to just take a few of the branches and grow them here. That's why this thing is just so fragile, that, you know, the wind or anything, it blows and breaks a branch off, and then it starts a new one. And that's just how they survive. And that is what I'm most concerned about. I don't want to break any branches. I thought a little bit about how I wanted to move this, and I've already moved some of these before, these Cholla Cactus. And I, if I had more room, I would probably put some paper around it. A lot of times, you know, when your Amazon stuff comes in the boxes, the long roll of paper, a lot of times I'll kind of put it around there and then twist and then help me move it. But I can't really get in there, and it's such a fragile cactus that it doesn't work that well on this. So I'm going to do what I've done in the past, and I'm going to put my gloves on and then just use this shovel. I'll get this out. I'll try to cut it as well as I can around the bottom. It's in really good soil. It should come out pretty easily, although the size of it tells me that it probably has a pretty significant root structure, but cactus roots aren't as significant as, I shouldn't say significant, but as large as like an agave or yucca roots. So I'm hoping that I can kind of scoop a little bowl and then just very neatly set that in. So let's go ahead and get started with that now. Gotta grab my gloves. Of course, I'm gonna put my safety glasses down. Also, I have to worry about this agave here, this ovatifolia, this beautifully striated ovatifolia. I don't wanna get these terminal spines into my knees or anything like that, so I have to be careful. First, I am going to just cut around it. I'm just going to work slowly, take my time, stick the shovel in and see where I'm at. Going to try to get under this plant, and I want to keep it upright for as long as I can. I can feel that it's already starting to fall backwards. Not what I wanted to happen. I have a feeling it's going to come apart in two. That's not what I wanted. But that's what I'm going to get. Okay, well, first I'm going to do this back one here, because I kind of want to put it in the same sort of way as the other one was as they were in this spot. So maybe I'll just even do one of these here. Oh, look at that. They all came apart. Oh, that's not great. So I think I might have to actually kind of put them a little bit in a hole because I'm trying to figure out how I can stand these up. I was hoping that it would come out into the root ball so that I could just, like I usually do, just pick it up and set it here. But the roots, since this is such a young plant, was significantly less root structure than I had hoped. So I'm gonna try to figure out how to do this now. It's very gently going to lay that down. And same with this side here. Just very slowly. Set this right about here. Okay, this is a plant, like I was saying, you can't even make any kind of contact with your glove because as soon as you do, it'll stick in your glove. So, I guess I'm going to work my way back there. Maybe I'll just do it from here. Yeah, I am going to, the shovel's a little too big, so I'm gonna set this here. Just in case I need it. I'm gonna come around. Try not to get poked by the purposorium. Okay, I'm gonna move my Michigan deer skull out of the way. I collected that as a kid some years ago. And, okay. So, I think I'm going to try to just stand this up. I'm going to put some of this. This is decomposed granite, DG, and some gold fines to make it pretty coarse. And I'm just going to put this right in the front, but I don't want too much because I have to put the other ones right there too. So I'm going to put that right there. And for now, I'm just going to lay this right back down. I just want to get this dirt there, because I think I want to do these first. And now I have 3 parts that I'm working with. I'm going to use the materii just to kind of help me out here. Just going to leave it up against there. And then I'm going to get these roots into place. Whoops. Okay. So I'm just going to be very careful here. I'm going to start putting these on the back of the roots. Now on the front. Okay, next, let's put this one back up. Okay, I have a lot of gravel in the front. I should say in the back. I'm going to use this shovel here. Bring that in. There we go. Pack it down just a little bit. Okay, it's starting to stand on its own, which is great. Okay, now I just need to make a little bit of a divot here for this one. Okay, let's get this one up. I need to change positions a little here. Right there. Stay right there. All right. So now I'm going to tuck a few more of these roots that are kind of popped up here in the back, which you could see. Just got to get situated here. Now I'm just going to start piling on the dirt. It's so weird when you're working with your hands like this that you can't use your hands at all. I think that's going to really do the trick there. Yeah, that really helped. Okay, they're all standing at the exact angle that I wanted them. So far, so good. You have to be really careful when you're patting this down in the back so that you don't get one of those low-lying ones stuck in your hand. Okay, now I just have to see if I have enough dirt on this side to, because right now it's sort of being propped up by this one. I'm going to use these rocks to kind of temporarily prop all of these up. So let's bring this one in the back. So what I'm doing is I'm just putting rocks along the back to help stabilize this whole thing. This is not going to be permanent in this position, but for now, that is going to potentially work. I want this one to kind of lean back just a little bit more. Just like so. Okay, I'm going to come around the front now. I think I have everything done that I need to do back here. Let me put my deer skull back. All right, let me come around. Make sure I don't get poked. Okay, I want to move this out slowly. I don't think it's quite stable yet. Work fast. I think that might have done the trick. And again, this is just temporary until this gets to be a little bit more settled and secure. And again, just going to add a little bit more dirt in here. Just want to give these roots some time to grow, get healthy. Once that's done, I'll move these rocks. But for now, that's exactly where I wanted it. It's not quite the same sort of bunch that it was, but yeah, that looks great. I would have changed the angle some, because I think that this is a perfect viewing angle, but I was kind of hoping the viewing angle would be a little better looking this way. But this plant is going to change a lot in its lifetime, so who knows? Maybe we'll get a better side from this way, and maybe I could. Okay, I'm just going to be a little bit picky here because I do want this viewing angle to be a little better. So I'm going to rock this one back just a little bit, ever so slightly. There, that did it. That's what I wanted. I wanted that one to kind of lean back a little bit more. Even more. I'm going to put a tiny bit more gravel just because I moved it back. Excellent. All right. Well, it didn't go exactly as planned, but the results are the same, and I couldn't be happier. We didn't break a single branch. And to me, that's the ultimate goal. We got it into its new location without damaging the plant, and that's awesome. So I call that a win, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So yeah, I guess things don't exactly always go as planned in the garden, but yeah, we just have to keep plugging away and keep trying, and eventually we'll get there. So I'm really happy with how this went. In time, as I mentioned, I will take this Oterii out this spring. Probably in about maybe 3 to 4 weeks, I'm going to make some photos of this and sell it directly from the ground. It's really healthy that way, and it'll go directly to the buyer straight from the ground. And once this is out, I will build up this area, this mound, a little bit more to kind of match the elevation of the Cholla cactus here, the Teddy Bear Cactus. And in a few months, maybe even midsummer, I'll probably move these rocks a little bit out of place after the roots after they've had a chance to be a little bit more established in there and hold the plant in ground a little bit better. I'll move these rocks out of place, build up the mound so it's a little bit more natural looking instead of the obvious rocks piled up around it. So we'll get those out, get this mound popped up, and I think that I will likely take this agave out because it has, this area has served its purpose. It has gotten healthy again, and it's ready to go back into its container. So same as this Agave Titanota Black and Blue. This was put here, kind of the same reasons why a lot of these were, to get healthy again, but it has done that. And I think that I'm going to keep it in this location. I think it's done really well here, and it's an appropriate size for this garden, and it looks quite nice with everything else, so I think I'll probably keep this here. I'm a little bit worried about, with this new location of the strided ovatifolia here. I don't know exactly how big it's going to get because I don't know a lot about this plant. I haven't seen many pictures of one with variegation like it, so I don't know exactly what subspecies it is. Some of them can get 6 feet and 7 feet wide, and some of them not much more than 4 feet or 3 feet. So time will tell. I'm going to keep an eye on it to make sure that this is an appropriate spot for it. But so far so good. It's a little splotchy, and it's very healthy. It's just, that's the neem oil. I sprayed it yesterday because I had a whole bunch of ants on it that were collecting some honeydew from the mealybugs that are near the terminal spines here. So that's why it just looks a little splotchy. That's just the neem oil. But other than that, super healthy plant, beautiful plant, rare too. And then I think next what I will do, probably off camera, is going to remove this agave, put it in a container, and also put some soil around this agave. This is a very unique specimen here. This is called a xylocantha. It's a hidalgo blue, and it has a really small base. So very small root structure and a really small base. So I have to continually put dirt around the base just to keep it a little bit more stable. Ooh, and I do see that it's got some pups down there too. Fantastic, I'll take those out. Very nice, these teeth are amazing. I'll do some close-ups of that next, but yeah, so I'll build this area up. This will stay, this is in a fine spot, this will be gone, and that'll give us more room for the Yucca rostrata here. This needs about, as I mentioned, 60 inches in diameter, and this will be plenty enough space. I think 30 inches is about right here from center to center, so we should be good to go. And I really like how this turned out. I fixed all the leaning issues, and it's in here exactly the way that I wanted it. Has a nice viewing angle from this way, and also when you come around the tree from the trail behind you, you can see a nice, lovely viewing angle as well. The Gespergetti, the Purpusorum, is going to get a little larger. I'm not exactly sure how much bigger, but probably double its size. So also, besides this, it might have some issues with this ovatifolia, so I just have to keep an eye on that and see what's next. But thank you for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. That really helps out the channel, helps me out, helps grow the channel, but also helps spread the word of agaves and other dry garden varieties such as cactus and yucca and aloe and all of those wonderful things. So thanks again for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Have a great week ahead and be safe, everyone. Thanks.